Hello, good morning. It's Richard and
Paul.
Paul's got a little bit of a cold, haven't you, Paul? You've been a little bit sniffly, and a little bit coughy, well, a lot coffee actually.
I thought I was introducing this.
And welcome to the show. This is just a short video. We'll keep it as short as possible. We've been nominated by the lovely Jane Kelly of Jane's Wild Swimming Channel. Jane will be showing us in her new video the hazards to avoid whilst wild swimming in the local canal. I'm looking forward to that, Jane. So, Paul, tell the viewers all about what this 5 things in 5 minutes really means.
5 minutes?
And of course, to us, it's going to be 10 things in 10 minutes, because there's 2 of us. We're a unit. We go together, like Rama Lama Lama, Ka-dinga-da-dinga-dong. So, Paul, what's this 5 things video all about?
I thought it was 5 things in 5.
5 things in 5 minutes.
I thought it was 5 things in 5 hours. I didn't realise there was a
Don't be ridiculous.
time
Paul.
limit of minutes.
Yes, 5. You need to get your timer. But what is it all about, first of all? Please tell the viewers.
Jane of Jane's Allotments.
It's not Jane's allotment. It's Jane Kelly.
It's Jane Kelly on Jane's Allotment on Facebook.
On Facebook. And the new channel will be Jane's Wild Swimming Experience.
I would have loved to have seen a photo of that.
Yes,
Yeah.
people can go investigate that on Jane's Facebook. Jane's Allotment. On Facebook. A Facebook page by Jane Kelly.
Since,
I don't know.
before time.
1892.
There we are. So, this 5 things in 5 minutes is reflections on the growing year, observations, tips for the future.
Gardening.
It's gardening, yeah.
Oh. I thought it was 5 favourite things.
It's not 5 favourite things.
Oh. Okay. I can make it work for gardening. Yeah, I'm sure I can.
God.
Okay.
You watched the video, yeah? Jane's Wild Swimming Allotment video?
Sort of.
You read the 5 things?
Okay,
God.
don't worry, I can work on the fly. I'm good at that. I'm a professional. I can do this.
This is my life. This is my life. Well, I'm going to start then. My 5 things.
Timer.
I've got a timer. Look, I've got a timer.
Ring-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding-a-ding. Start it.
Timer.
Start it then.
Start.
Give it to me.
I've got a list on a scrap of paper.
You better hurry up. I've got all day.
Volunteer plants. I've mentioned this already. Volunteer plants are fabulous to have, but do keep an eye on them. We had volunteer sunflowers this year that really were spectacular, but were really in the wrong place.
It's making a noise. Was that a phone call?
That was a phone call. I thought I put it on silent. Let me do that.
Well, you're running out of time.
There we are. So volunteer plants, make sure they're in the right place for you. There's no harm in moving volunteer plants from one place to another. Sunflowers obviously could get big. I didn't expect these to. They almost pushed down our tomato frames. Volunteer plants, keep an eye on them, make sure they're in the right place. Make time. Make time for the things that you need to do. It's really important when you sow your seeds that you have the time to then prick them on or put them out, because if you let a plant go a bit too long in a pot and get root bound, that could actually diminish what you're going to get from that plant at a later time. I think our broccoli rabe, which grew really quickly, went to seed because I didn't plant them soon enough. I didn't prick them on soon enough. I think that's what happened. 3, we all love to experiment, but don't experiment too much. This year we grew a few too many types of beans. Next year I'm going to keep it to 4 beans, maybe 5, but definitely not do 7. And also experiment, if there's something you're not sure about, just do one experiment of something you're not sure about each year. Don't try this, try that, try that. If you're not sure you're going to like what you're going to grow, only try one, because you're using up a lot of space in experimenting. 4, make notes. Now, this may be on other channels that people have been nominated by Jane and by others by now, but do make notes. Make notes of what you're sowing, when you're sowing it, when you need to prick it out and move it on, when you need to plant it on. Obviously, if you're direct sowing, it's a bit easier because it's going straight in the ground, but do make notes of when you sow, when you put things out, what the weather has been, because when we look back, we don't really remember year on year the exact month or week that something happened. My 5th is prepare for harvests. It's really important that if you spent a lot of time growing things, you need to have the time to harvest them, and harvest them well. There's no point in harvesting lots of chard and putting it in your fridge or putting it in your shed, because it will just go yucky.
It'll wilt.
It'll wilt. If you're going to keep carrots out of the soil over the winter, or parsnips out of the soil over the winter, make sure you've got a really sandy loam that you can keep them in, so that they keep fresh. Because the last thing that anyone wants is a soft carrot. Apart from possibly a really hard radish core, which doesn't eat very well. You hate that, don't you?
You've got 36 seconds left if you want to finish off.
So, my roundup, volunteer plants. Make sure they are where you want them. Make time to do the things that you need to do. Don't experiment too much, because you might then not have enough space to grow what you really want to grow. Make notes of everything you do and need to do, and also weather conditions and where you have planted things on your plot.
10 seconds.
Prepare for harvests. Really important. It makes the most of your growing year.
That's lovely, Paul. Well done. It's most annoying. I'm just having a sip of my coffee.
So what are your 5 things?
Essential things for the garden.
Oh dear, oh dear. I can see. It's all about preparation as well. It's all about preparation. Mind you, you have prepared, but it looks as though you prepared for the wrong thing.
No, I had the garden in mind at all times.
Right, I'm going to start your 5-minute timer.
Hold on. Hold your horses.
I'm starting. I got really itchy eye this morning.
Oh dear.
Right, ready, steady, go.
Cake.
Oh, God.
Essential for energy in the garden and essential for sharing with friends, plot neighbours. Cake,
That's fair enough.
Cake will attract plot neighbours.
And wasps.
Pollinators.
Pollinators, okay, fair enough.
There we are.
But cake is actually, that type of thing is really important, because the Allotments shed, which is a Facebook group, They have a biscuit tin.
Yeah, I knew that.
So, yeah, I'll give you the cake.
Yeah, I knew that. I was prepared. Number 2. Pashminas. For stylish gardening at all times. And keeping the neck warm. And using as a shawl. Aha. You see, everybody should have a pashmina.
I think...
And can also be put over the head in the event of a rainstorm. There we are. You see, I'm clever.
Can we use some of your pashminas as fleece?
I don't think
to
so.
To keep the plants warm?
No.
I think that's a good idea.
No, I don't think so. Sunscreen.
Oh,
It works. Because I was going to say to prevent aging and sun damage. Use it in the garden.
How do you apply sunscreen?
Very lightly.
I thought you were supposed to...
Not if it's 100, factor 100.
What if it's a lower factor?
You need to apply more, possibly.
And more regularly?
Yes, especially if you're sweating. This one works. Hats and gloves. One can never have enough gloves for gardening, but don't use cashmere ones in the garden.
Though Tony C. Curtis does use his good
Tony
leather
C.
ones.
Curtis?
Oh,
What, father of Jamie Lee Curtis?
Tony C. Smith. Tony C. Smith.
Tony C. Curtis.
Yeah. Tony C. Smith uses his leather ones.
And just see how Paul's mind works. And finally...
Well, you've got plenty of time.
hats and gloves is number 4. Hats to keep the sun off.
Right, yeah, fair enough. I'll give you that one.
And gloves for protection. But not fingerless cashmere ones.
Especially if you're doing thorns. Fingerless cashmere gloves and thorns.
But still, I think, an essential tip. And then number 5, good fragrance. Because the smell of manure is never good. And I like to use good fragrance most days, and I think it's essential for men to use a good quality fragrance. And my little tip would be a dot behind each ear, possibly even a dot on each nipple. For unforeseen romantic encounters on the allotment.
At the allotment?
Yes.
I thought you were going to say that you fragrance the manure. If it smells a little bit pongy, you can spray the manure on it.
I'm certainly not going to
Spray
waste
on the manure.
good French eau de toilette on a manure pile, Paul. I really don't think so, Paul.
But again, could attract bees and pollinators, couldn't it?
That's a good point, if there are floral notes. How many minutes have I got left?
You've got 15 minutes left.
15 minutes? Seconds, you mean? So those are my essential tips for gardening equipment in the new growing year. I think I did that quite well. I think I saved that well.
I think you did well, considering you didn't actually know what you were talking about.
So, 12 seconds left on my timer. So, be glamorous, be protected, don't age rapidly, and protect and wear stylish pashminas all the time.
I think the pashminas, I think they would make good netting.
Yeah, you keep going on about that, Paul, because that's not going to be a reality.
I could use them in the polytunnel.
They contain...
They wouldn't get wet.
Some of them are quite expensive.
Well...
And contain a certain amount of cashmere and silk. I'm not going to allow you to put those products on the farm, the allotment, I mean. So, that raises the final question, Paul. Who are we going to tag? Shall we have a think about this and come back to the viewers in one moment?
Have you thought about it?
Well, I've thought of one.
Okay, who's that?
I thought we could tag Rue from Rue's Life. Who would you like to tag, Paul?
I think I'd like to hear from Ronna.
Ronna. Lovely. What's Ronna's channel called again? Oh.
Island Kitchen Garden.
Island Kitchen Garden. Yes, lovely. And who would be our third taggee? Oh, yeah. Lovely. Okay.
Bill and Val.
Bill and Val from Two Plots of Heaven. Lovely. So there you go. There's our taggies. Taggies. Taggy. Tagines.
So those are the 3 channels that we've nominated.
Tagged. Thank you very much for watching.
Why
this
not
morning.
nominate?
We're having coffee.
We are having coffee.
No cake though this morning.
No, you haven't made any, have you?
It's only an instant, but it's half and half. Half milk, half water, a teaspoon of coffee.
Actually,
Lovely. It's rather creamy, isn't it?
it's not milk though.
Well, it's soy milk.
They're not. They're trying to ban it from being called milk. That's why they have to call it soy drink.
At the end of the day, a soya bean hasn't got teats and you can't milk it, can you?
Well, that's
really?
exactly what they're saying. Yes.
But
And milk needs to come from an animal.
Oh,
A
really?
mammal.
Well, milk's just a word, isn't it?
Well, it's a made-up word. Yeah.
It's just a word. It didn't come from God, did it?
No. It
No.
didn't.
It was made up because God doesn't exist. Anyway, we've just alienated a few people there.
Yeah. No.
Sorry about that. So that's it, isn't it? A quickie from Ricky and Paulie.
And I'm going to get back to work
No.
because Richard has dragged me downstairs to do this video. I need to go down and read water meters at the allotments, and then I need to get back to my desk and record those things and then get on with stuff for my clients.
Good.
That's what I need to do. What are you doing today?
Social media day. And then this evening we'll be watching RuPaul's Drag Race UK, and we'll be doing a review video straight after the show. Yes, won't we? Yes, lovely. So if you're into RuPaul's Drag Race UK, watch the show and then watch our video afterwards.
I think it's on at 8, isn't it?
I think it's on iPlayer at 8 o'clock,
Right.
8 p.m. UK time.
BBC 3.
BBC 3.
I was reading about Michelle.
Yes, we finished now,
Her
Paul.
saying why it was on, not why it was on BBC 3, but that they had actually spoken to all the other channels as well.
Yes, I've seen that too. We're going now. Thank you very much. Bloody thank you.
Thank you, Jane.
Thank you, Jane Kelly.
Hope you've dried out now.
And we'll see you very soon. Bye for now.
Bye.
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 Bye.